Hey, how's everybody doing? I just want to do a sound check here first because I got something set up. I just want to make sure the sound's not bouncing. Anybody got any kind of echo? Testing 1, 2. I've got a slight echo here. Bear with me a second, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? I've got a small echo on my end, but I can deal with it. Is there an echo when I'm talking or no? Okay, Tango Echo 666 is code word for all good. Let's go. Hey, everybody, how you doing? I see Vinny, Felix, Libra. I saw Katz was out there. If I missed anybody, I'll catch you. It's gonna be a little bit of a longer hangout. It's been a while since I've done these, so you got to bear with me because I haven't streamed the live stream since I left my place back in February. I just wanted to say hello, all. Common thing to say. Wanted to do something on the whiteboard because there's been just a bunch of stuff going around for quite some time. I want to go back to when I first joined a few years ago, and everybody knows the channel. It was Hillbilly's channel, and he did the the air flight. Of course, this is not going to be to scale, so please bear with me. He drew a map. You get the United States here, kind of funky. Going across, Texas down here. Well, Texas a little pointier, and then come back up. And he had LAX on this side, which is Los Angeles. He had New York. Whoops, where's New York? There we go. New York over here, JFK, and basically did the air travel. Which is about 6.5 hours. Going this way, with apparently, and we all know because the circumference around the center of this baby is supposed to be 24,901 miles. So it's just about one. It's a little over 1K, but let's just round things off for this evening. There's no point in getting technical. Anybody who knows, there's no point in arguing these small details. Obviously, you take the trip at 6.5 hours this way and go in about plus or minus 500 miles an hour. Plus or minus, and again, being about 3,000 miles, not too bad. It's pretty much on point. Now, the return flight coming back also takes about 6.5 hours. Anybody can look it up. Same thing, although there's one problem. Ball's still spinning this way. Well, if I'm going 500, obviously I'm not going to catch it. So when I land, I'm going to start here and I'm going to go backwards and I'm going to be over here somewhere, over by where some of the new people we met, like Jin, is over in Japan, or perhaps we'll end up with Dave, Hawaii or something, very far the other way. I'm going to go a little bit quicker, not to bore anybody, because I'm going to bring some people in the panel, as we get going here. You can look this up, very available. You can use it, even they haven't messed up Google Earth too badly. or Wikipedia too badly that you can research this with air traffic and how it moves and the times back and forth. And that brings me to the next thing. And as soon as I do this, there's going to be a few boos. I cannot see live chat, by the way. I had to move my laptop way over there because it's gotten a pretty bad echo. Anybody ever heard of one of those? A380 Airbus. They replaced the 747. In fact, it's one of the most common airplanes that are used nowadays. Boeing makes it. 3 different models. I believe there's 3 or 4 because it was a prototype. And as you look this up, there's been a big hoo-ha about, these wings and fuel and the amount of fuel and everything else and some different things. So I'm going to light the old stogie. I prepared a few notes on this particular subject, and I'd like to go over them with you. Just give me a second here. Hey, I quickly saw Carl in the chat there as I looked. I'm just hoping the sound's okay. Yeah, we could do wingspan. We could do a bunch of stuff with Airbus 380. I'll leave it up here for a second. Maybe take some notes. And I know I know Carl and Vinny. I know a lot of you guys are really good researchers. So you've already got a lot of specs on this. I'm just leaving it up here for a second because there should be a couple new friends of mine that are joining that perhaps haven't heard this, or westward and eastward air travel. Go back and rewind a little bit. As the broadcast goes on, you'll be able to go back and see that and research that on your own. Different things are coming up as far as scale and different things. I want to do something so simple. I know there's a little glare up on here too, so I'm trying to do the best I can. Miles per gallon. They actually have a configuration for miles per gallon on a damn jetliner. It's actually not miles per gallon now, it's nautical. And the nautical, this is 1 mile. Yeah, the configuration is, what's it, 1587? Yeah, nautical miles, 1.578 miles. Or a normal mile. Let's see how I do this here. Oops. This is why I use spell check when I'm typing. A mile equals 5,280 feet. Okay, well, a nautical mile, I'm going to shorten it up here, just do NM, equals 6,076.12. Okay, well, based on mile and nautical mile, there's a big difference, especially when you're flying over long distances and all that stuff. Now, I'll leave this up here for a second. I'm going to keep writing down because I can see that we can see the bottom of the board here. Now, the A380 gets 10 nautical miles per gallon. That's pretty good. There are semi-trucks on the road, 18-wheelers, that don't get that. That's a pretty incredible number when I looked it up. And I did cross-reference because I also did the landing weight, takeoff weight, and I'll get to that in a little bit, calculation, because they mess with the numbers. They give you metric tons and kilograms, and you have to convert them all to get back to keeping it all with gallons and pounds and tons. which is okay. So you got an A380 Airbus, 10 miles per gallon. The max that this can fly, in other words, the max distance, is anywhere, depending on where you look, and I'll do both, is 8,500 miles to 9,700 miles. Nautical, no, excuse me. I think that was either miles or nautical. Either way, you've got the gist of what I'm trying to get at here. In order to fly this distance, okay, you divide 8,500 by 10. So that airliner, to fly that far, would need 850 gallons. Based on that. Now, let's say I made a mistake here, and I may have. Let's say, all right, forget the 850. Let's double that. Let's go 1,700. 1,700 gallons. Now, we're going miles per gallon here. Now, the nautical mile thing, I'm going to take this off because you should have gotten that written down by now. If not, go back and research it, look it up. 1,700 gallons gets you 850. We're gonna do the one. You can do both of them at your leisure. Now, you also look up how much is 1 gallon of airline fuel. Well, there's actually two numbers. 6.10 pounds if you're at 40 degrees Celsius, and 6.14 if you're at minus 15. Let's go with the bigger. Let's go even more. Let's do 6.25. Try to keep some even numbers, huh? So let's see, 1,700 times 6.25 equals 10,625 gallons. Quickly doing the math on this to tons, it's about 2.1 tons. That's the tonnage that is actually on that aircraft as far as fuel. And I've actually taken this number times 2 and doubled it. Now, when you look up what the fuel is in this particular airline, that was also interesting. And I'll leave this and I'll back up for a second. I don't want to go too quick. Besides that, I got to relight my cigar. So go ahead and copy that if you need to. I'll be there in a sec. I'll be right back. Okay. There we go. All right. Let me just double check the chat real quick, and I'm going to keep. Actually, I just read something in chat. Actually, it's kind of funny because I don't need a white coat. Common sense rules the world here, and common sense will guide you through. I just happen to have a black shirt on because that's what I happen to be wearing. That was a good one, though. Okay, so we doubled the fuel, and this you can look this up. By the way, when you're doing the calculations, if you look. Some of the older calculations they're already done in gallons. Some are done in kilograms, in liters, different measurements, and you take your time to look at them because the calculation and I may have, that's why I doubled this, because I may have been a little off on this particular one because of nautical miles versus miles. This is what the max mileage is. So nautical miles would be even further. So it should actually be less than the 17. I doubled it just for argument's sake, because, oh no, that's wrong actually. Excuse me. That's 5. Oops, my mistake. 5.1 tons. My bad. My total mistake. I'll correct that right now. I just caught that before I erased it. 5 tons. Give you an idea, 5 tons would be not even a normal size backhoe. Well, yeah, no, that's correct. A normal size backhoe is about 18,000 pounds, which is the backhoe that you see every day on road crews, on construction crews. They run about approximately 9 tons. They vary depending on 4-wheel drive and different attachments. Won't get into that. Approximately 9 tons. So this weighs about half of one backhoe, and that flies the entire plane for that distance. Now, the fuel number is definitely off. This I agree with. I think the biggest one is everybody got stuck on 81,780 with a max capacity, because there is a max capacity on these, depending on if you get the customized version, of 84,000 gallons. Well, why would they print it like this? Huh. Well, the first thing I looked at was a monetary situation. And I'm like, all right, how many people are in this plane? This plane carries 555 people. Okay. So, and again, this is a very crude way of doing it. I know it costs a little more. Don't forget, we're flying, 8,500 miles. That's a long way. We're going across the country and back on the same plane without refueling. 555 people. Take this. Let's round it off to 82,000, just for argument's sake. Okay, just for argument's sake, we'll take these two. We'll do it this way. Whoops, excuse me. 82,000 gallons. I just checked the price. It's actually, I'm going to round it up. It's actually going prices about 521. I'm going to round up to 525. That was Monday's call on airliner fuel. So let's see. 82,000 times 5.25 equals. Wow. I hope somebody's got a Shell credit card with a lot of mileage, because you're going to get some. And of course, they pay no tax because they're tax exempt, and actually the tax is collected on the fares that the people pay. So how would you figure out what a passenger is going to fly for? Well, this is simple math, of course, because you would divide it by 555 people. Divided by 555. Look at that. $775 a person. Now, you're not going to fly back and forth across the country for that $775. It's probably going to cost you double that plus 1, so it's probably going to cost you, on a normal everyday ticket, it's probably going to cost you about maybe $1,600, maybe $1,700 to fly this way and then this way. This is west and this is east. Now, the gallons make sense because anybody with half a brain that does the math times this by the gallons. Of course, you've got extra expensive maintenance and downtime plus the cost of the plane. And by the way, these planes last 30 years. So when you do an amortization chart, which is what you do to buy a home, do it on a 30-year process of about $250,000. I know it says in there 375 to 400. Some companies are buying a dozen of these, so the price is not that price. It's going to be a discounted price. And from what I read pretty extensively, they had to drop the price to make sure they were affordable, to keep the fares somewhat affordable per person. Otherwise, everybody would drive. Wouldn't make any sense to fly anymore. And this is probably why the gallons are the way they are, because by doing the simple math and the people, you end up with what seems reasonable for a flight. And I'll leave this up there a second. Get a survey while I'm going through this process. Okay. Now, if you start doing, again, simple math, and this is simple math, there's several things missing. I doubled the fuel on the small one, and let's go with that for a second. So we doubled the fuel on the small one to 1,700 gallons. Times, same thing, 525. Boy, I wonder what that comes out to. I've done this on different numbers. I'm just doing it now, freehand, as I'm talking to you. What it costs for fuel in the plane. Of course, this doesn't include maintenance or anything else. And understand, there's a lot more to a business plan than just showing what the fuel mileage is. There's many more things. There's the plane cost, the gate prices, the maintenance on this thing, the downtime, the crew. I mean, there's the food. There's so many other things on here. This is just doing it very simply because the 81 or 82,000 number is so that people can't figure out how much they're actually making and when they can raise and lower costs, or they can fly this plane at half the people and still make money. Take that, divided by this, which some of you may have done. It costs $16.08 per passenger. Wow. The other number over here was $775. Remember? They can fly you for basically, at most pubs, a beer is going to run you $5 for a 3-pack. That's why they don't want you to figure it out. So when you're sitting there trying to figure this out and you're starting with a number that is so astronomical it makes no sense, it's preposterous. And I'll leave this up there for a second. Now, remember our configuration a little bit ago? Sure you did. I know you guys do because you pay attention, because you know I'm going back to something. Let's see here. I did the 17 on 6. Let's get a calculator real quick here. Oh, hell, I'll even add some. There we go. So it's five, let's do 5.5 tons of fuel. That doesn't seem too bad. I mean, hell, you can carry this on the back of a pickup. You guys ever seen the GMC commercials, or Ford, Dodge, Chevy, any of the commercials? I've pulled more weight than this behind a pickup. It wasn't very fun, but I've done it. Now let's take this number here, 82,000, and let's do it times 6. I did it. I'll do it with the actual number, which is 6.14. We'll give them a break. Now let's divide that. $251 tons of fuel. Wow. Wow. You know what's interesting to me? I also looked up. And that 175, I didn't write down. It was what was it, off the ground? Well, I know it was done. No, it was done in metric, so I can't use that number. Excuse me. Let's see. To get this sucker off the ground, max weighted takeoff. It's actually, you can look this up. Maximum takeoff weight. Here's another one for you. Maximum landing weight. You'd be very happy to, of course, they give it to you in a different number. You have to reconfigure it. 431 tons. So if I'm leaving at 600 tons, that gets me up in the air. By the time I come down, I have to lose 171 tons of weight. Boy, that's an awful lot of weight. Do you know the average truck is going to be cute? I like my drawings. For basically 40 tons. I know some states are 60. Some states you can get a heavy load permit for 100, 120,000 pounds. It's called gross combined vehicle weight. About 40 ton. Boy. So I have to lose 4.5 18-wheelers. I got to lose them. I got to dump them off somewhere, on somebody's house. You know, they'll figure it out. And of course, this is one flight. You know how many flights go over to houses every day? The numbers are this way to justify what they charge for a seat. Anybody, actually, I'll leave this for a minute. Just let that soak in for a second. You know what everybody missed on this one? Oops, excuse me. Everybody is stuck on this. You know what you really missed? Shame on anybody who still believes in that much fuel on the planes. Nobody's saying there's that much fuel. If you're arguing that there is, and you're trying to demonstrate that there's that much fuel on the plane, you're part of the problem. I'm going to be in chat a moment. I'm going to reconfigure, and I'm going to chat for a moment or two with some people that are out there. I want to say hello to a few folks, so give me a break and just take a real good look at this, because while you're all focusing on this, do yourself a favor. Put a pair of glasses on and look at that. That's why they're telling you that's that much, and anybody trying to figure it out is a buffoon. Testing 1, 2. I think I'm back. You guys all hear me? I can see both the watch and listen. I got to adjust the sound, I think. No, it might be not too bad here. Sounds pretty good. Okay, let me get some. Oh, hey, Shannon's out there. Hey, Mr. Iron FE, nice to see you. Zern's out there. Good. There we go. Excellent. Thank you. Give me a few minutes and get some of these links. These will be coming via Facebook. So if you guys could grab Facebook, that'd be great. And because I have limited with doing this here, I'm going to ask that a couple of friends join, and they also can post some links and bring in some friends too. Let me see here. All right. Let's get a couple links out there. Just bear with me. I'm gonna try not to have any dead airspace. I'm gonna try to keep her going. Oh, hey, I see Musicians for Truth out there. Hey, what's up? Plain Truth as well. I didn't catch you before. I saw Mike was out there. Yeah, Zern, actually, you're give it a few minutes. We're trying to get reset up here because after doing the present, we're doing not a Q&A because I'm sure everybody knows, but Just waiting for a couple folks to check Facebook. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Not too bad. Hope everybody's doing good. I haven't been on in a few days. Been doing some things. Doing some things with family and stuff. Just overdoing some couple things here. But yeah, figured I would start one up. Say a few things that I personally have found out. Some of the things are getting so ridiculous, and to keep listening to the same gibberish over and over, it's like, man, move on. Remember how you got here. Hey, I see Jimbo's out there too. Hey, Jimbo. I know we're a little bit behind. Hey, Mike. There's Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man? Whoop, it still might be loading a little bit. See, Mr. Mike has joined in. We'll get a couple others in here. We got here by asking. Yeah, I'm kind of answering. Yeah, hopefully the audio is still on. Oh, Hyena's out there. Hey, Hyena, how you doing? Hey, Eddie's there too. Hey, Eddie. Eddie, I'll be. Oh yeah, Eddie, that's great. Hey, Eddie, I'll be coming up to see Mark pretty soon within the coming weeks. I've been just kind of piecing with the family for a little bit, so I'll be up your way, man. Thanks, Hyena. I know Mike's jumped. Hey, there's Felix. Felix, how you doing?
Hold on, so I don't echo.
Whoop, you got an echo there. There you are. Okay, now I can see you guys on the watch page. Yeah, just give everybody a second to set up. I had to piece out my other account so I can come on this one, which is the one I'm streaming from. So if we need to go back to the whiteboard, I'll have to move this laptop over that direction, which is okay. I can do it. No, I don't think. Whoops! I just dropped something. No, musicians for truth. I don't think so. You don't have to be a fabricator for this. If you get stuck on the amount of gallons and then you do the weight, the calculation is just so understandably ridiculous. It forget about getting off the ground. You'd probably sink. Oh, Shanna, that's cool. It was good to see you.
I got rid of the echo.
Got rid of the echo. Cool.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. I didn't know if it was on my end when you came in. If that was me.
Oh yeah, because you had to move away from the laptop.
Okay, is that still okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, there we go. Oh, excellent. Yeah, Felix, it's a long time since we did a live hangout on my channel. Holy crap.
I know. It's been since last winter.
It was almost a year. It was last February. It was just before I pieced out of the other place. It was beginning of February. That was the last hangout I did.
Whoa.
It's been a while. We've been in touch. I mean, for those that
Right.
obviously we've been in touch and talk all the time. It's just that we haven't done the hangout. And I was looking at something for a bit of time. And what's interesting is to get so hung up on, because you can't get hung up on that number. You have to research that number. Well, of course it's ridiculous, because it is. And I just went back to miles per gallon. And then I did, what's that?
That's easy.
Yeah, and then you do nautical miles, which is a little further. And then I started to think, wow, okay, so they mapped everything in nautical miles before the mile, which is a true case. So even those are really off as far as land mass, because it was done in nautical miles around the outside, because that's how they did it, was a nautical miles 1.5.
Around the outside, outside.
Yeah, like trailer park girls. I thought that was really cool. I sent a link to Vin too. I didn't see if he saw it, but I'm glad that Mike got the link. That was good.
Yeah. We'll say some.
So yeah, and there's I'm not in the mood for a debate. Everybody look it up on your own. That's what I found out, and common sense tells me that to argue the number of gallons is fucking retarded. You have to start with miles per gallon and find out what that jet flies at. Do you know they've actually had that as being more efficient than I believe it's a Prius.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And read some articles. The BBC, the 9,700 mile as far as max traveling distance. That 9,700 came from BBC, an article on BBC that I had read. It was somebody who was, maybe exaggerating a little bit and saying, hey, this thing will go 9,700 miles. So I wasn't exactly sure. 8,500 was the max that I had looked and seen it several times to where, okay, we'll go with that one.
Well, it's like anything else too. If you lighten your payload, for one thing, fuel is a big thing on lighting your payload up, number of passengers, how much cargo you're bringing. Right. A lot of that, all of that is computed right by the airplane. So I guess the airplane is lying on its instrument panel, just to fool the pilots, because
yeah,
they're just dummies that sit in a chair and smoke weed and push buttons, and they don't know nothing. So
well, yeah, what was interesting to me too is when I saw the takeoff weight, the max takeoff weight of 600 tons, and I'm like, all right, that's a big number to wrap your head around. And I'm like, wait, and then the landing was not in tons; it was in kilograms, and I'm like, oh, you bastards, because it was like, I don't know, 100,000. I'm like, what? So I did the conversion, and it was 431. I'm like, how am I going to lose 170 tons while I'm flying from New York to California and back? Where am I supposed to lose this weight? Is there some fat person we don't know about?
It was a skydiving crew of fat people.
Yeah, we just unloaded, 4.5 tractor trailers, over Boise, Idaho, with all their cargo included, because that's the weight of the truck and the cargo is 80,000.
That's very thoughtful, though, giving Idaho some tractors.
No, Felix, that wasn't the way. Yeah, Mike, right. Yeah. Well, the thing is that, and if you go back and you're like, all right, well, the numbers are, as Eddie said that they're fudging the numbers. Yeah, because unless you convince people that you're spending almost $500,000 to fly them and you're losing money every day, they're not going to pay, $700 or $1,500. And we've all paid these prices at times, most of us. That's what round trip ticket could be a couple grand from here to the West Coast and back. And guess what? It cost them $16 in fuel.
I looked it up on the, what is it? Cold letters for the jet fuel exchange. It's about $1.66 a gallon for A right now.
Oh, really? I looked up on
I had it at $5.21 when I looked because that was going Monday's price.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's just one of those things that goes up and down.
Oh, absolutely. And
I
that's
put it in the chat somewhere back there.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I put it in the chat somewhere back there.
Oh, good. Yeah, because I don't know. Maybe there. I think yeah, I see there's a button for the external mic on this. It was catching up an echo, so I had to put it like 15 feet away, so I didn't hear the echo as I was. So when I stopped, I had to literally walk around, and I spent a few minutes and then went back. I didn't see all the chat, and thank you for everybody for participating and listening, and hopefully having a good time.
Yeah.
And I thought it was poignant to start with that westerly air flight that Hillbilly so brilliantly said a long time ago about, well, why is it 6.5 hours from New York to LAX, Los Angeles, and it's the same 6.5 hours back? Because when you leave the ground, the spin does not affect you anymore. You're free from anything moving except you. And it's moving underneath you. You'd never catch up. You'd end up over by, Dave, Hawaii. Dave was around at the time, over by Dave, or, in Japan or Australia somewhere, because it'd be spinning too fast.
That globe spins 1,000 miles an hour, man. You just be up in the sky. You'll be at Dave's house. About an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, every flight should head west. Every single one. There should, and if you're heading from here on the East Coast in Jersey down to Florida, and you're heading straight, well, hell, I'd have to shoot for like this western tip of Africa to land in Florida.
Go back to launching.
Yeah, I know it's absolutely crazy, and as and we've all gone through, and you get so wrapped up in so many things, and it was a well needed, few days break, and it was good to just sit back, and I started researching. A funny thing, and here's how I started doing it. This is going to be funny. My youngest daughter, which you guys know, I won't mention her name, and although she's on some of my videos, but she had a little bit of homework, and I'm like, oh, she was having a little trouble with it. I'm like, okay, well, your dad's a smart ass, and when they said, okay, a train from California going at 72 miles an hour and this many miles meets in Chicago, and a train traveling from New York goes the same distance at 68 miles and so many miles, or 68 miles an hour, and so many miles. Where do they meet? At the scene of the crash. What do you mean? Where do they fucking meet? They meet in Chicago, because it starts with they meet in Chicago.
Yeah.
You don't need a calculator for that. You need common sense, and that was earlier today. And she's like, Dad, are you okay? What are you doing? And I started drawing. I filled the board like 3 times, and then I wrote it down, because by the time I was done, there was so much up there, I didn't even understand what the hell I wrote.
Come on, it's a simple algebra.
Oh, man. The old expression is, man, I feel like I just gave birth. I mean, it's just, whew.
Well, that's our dads are for, to help you with your homework.
Oh, man, yeah. And I didn't help too much. She's going to go back and say, yeah, Dad said at the scene of the crash. Okay, detention, you go. You get out. Yeah, go ahead.
I wouldn't put it past my kid to write that down.
It's one of the funniest things that I've ever heard and repeated. I mean, because that makes so much sense. I'm like, holy shit, they got you doing all this chasing your tail crap. And yeah, common sense. At the scene of the crash. Where do they meet? You silly goose.
Common Core maths.
Oh my goodness. Woo. So it's good to be back. It's about time,
Yeah. Well, if Mr. Smith has 16 apples and Mr. Jones has 4 oranges, how many apples and oranges are there all together?
All of them.
How many pieces of fruit in all?
It depends on how much you want to cut.
22. Oh, we hadn't mentioned Mr. John's. They're both fruits.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. We got to cut 33 slices, and they come up to 666 in total. Oh, come on.
Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to come back and make light of it for a little bit, you know.
Well, somebody isn't reading what it says in the. There's a description. It says,
Where?
think is always in advance. Thanks is always in advance for being polite.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and if you go back to even the first videos, thank you in advance, because I don't get to thank everybody, after a while, some people join or fall off. And so just thanks in advance for joining, for listening, comment as you like. I may send you a reply. Don't sit there and hold your breath. I may send you a reply. So Felix, I figured if I was actually able to start skipping really quick, I could probably get to you in, I don't know, with the ball spin and shit. I could just run.
Right? I don't know, a couple hours maybe, because you are heading west, right?
Yes, yeah. Be heading west and just skip across the landscape and up and down mountains, But it wouldn't be hard because all I need to do is jump up. If I jump up in place for about, I don't know, a couple hours, I should be there.
Yeah. How come when somebody puts a balloon up, it doesn't end up to 2,500 miles away in a couple hours?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No one will answer our questions, but they could tell us we're dumb, right?
Yeah. Hey, musicians. Jason out there. Yeah, Zern knows what's going on. He knows what happened there, and it's good. It's good. Don't argue, guys.
Larry said, "Be nice. I'm polite. Say thank you."
Oh crap! I gotta go do.
True, Jimbo. Winds blow in all directions at all altitudes, and Mike, plain truth here, and I have been looking at weather, at how the weather's being controlled and manipulated, and there's a lot of planes up there dumping a lot of fuel. I'll tell you what, they're dumping a lot of crap.
Have you?
Shit they're doing.
And and as soon as I say chemtrail, obviously, I don't have to explain anything else. It's just, okay, chemtrail. And you're like, okay. A friend who you may know, she's been around a while, mainly on Facebook and other forums, because a lot of them don't like the YouTube forum, posted earlier today, there were black chemtrails over France. And I'm like, huh.
Ew.
And I thought about it for a minute. I'm like, I can't help but think they're spraying something to calm everybody down over France because they got all that white vest thing going on.
A lot of lithium.
Yep.
By the time the chems get over Germany and Shlomi, I'll be recording them and they'll be glowing really bright in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
They're moving the masses of air in clouds and things with various kinds of radar devices. And all these things are very openly, easily found on NASA. They have a worldview map. It goes, you can just zoom in and see all the X's and O's and tic-tac-toe they're playing in the sky.
Yeah, it's funny because they're pretty much showing you.
Yeah. Noah's got it too. So if you want to know where your millions and billions and trillions of dollars are going, it's to ruining your own atmosphere, your air, just killing trees. What they're doing. They're not on Mars, and I think they need to have their sideshow because, in all, it would probably be pretty boring, all in all. Or else, if everybody knew, they'd be all pissed off. I mean, it just goes beyond, like, remember what Madison Star Moon used to do? She's like, call these places. Hey, man, you're polluting the air over my house. And she'd call these different places, and they're like, send her off to the net, put her on hold, send her off to the next person. Oh, I can't help you, ma'am. We don't know what you're talking about. And,
I remember Robert Pisano. And I spoke with Rob, several times offline and back and forth emails, and because we had it out at Hillbillies one time, and then we buried the hatchet. And I was like, "Come on, you motherfucker!" And we had a serious talk. The guy really knows his shit. It's not what it's not what you think. It's what you can prove. There's two different things there. And that always stuck with me when he said that. And I was like, yeah, he's right. Go back to Common Core. If you can prove something, yeah. Can I prove there's a gallon of fuel? Yeah, because I can hold a gallon of fuel. I can see it. I've also had my home, which everybody has or have been around a fuel truck at some point. They could pump 250 gallons in there pretty quick.
Yeah.
And be done, and because they got to get to the next house, they pump it in there with a regular pump that forces it in there real quick. And you do have an air outlet in a regular oil tank in your backyard, or in the basement. And there's a reason for that, because as the fuel's going in the air, it's got to go out.
Right.
When did everybody lose common sense? Was I on vacation or something?
I think you were. I might have been on vacation too.
Yeah, vacation.
Yeah, I was on vacation. Okay, all right. Must have been a vacation. It must have been quiet time or nap. I took a nap. I had to need a nap or something.
Stay woke. Stay woke.
Yeah. Boy, I'll tell you, some of the things just. So after a while, I'm like, when it starts revolving around it all the time, and you just can't get over it, or you're just browbeating it, like there's no trees. You just browbeat aside. It's like you start to look around and be like, okay, are you being guided, or are you trying to take common sense into it and say, hey, you could be wrong. Look into this, because maybe you've kind of lost your way a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd rather be that guy and have some fun, because you don't have to prove a damn thing to me. I've been doing this shit a long time. Before Flat Earth started, I was into all kinds of law stuff, and then realized with the birth certificate and everything else, even common law, no matter what you do, it's all wrong, because you've already accepted that birth certificate. You got to go all the way back to maritime, and then maritime before maritime. It's like, holy shit! Now I got to go. I have to go back and have a fight with Captain Hook. I mean, that's how ridiculous it leads you to, because that's what you have to actually do. I do know a couple of friends that have done that, and it's a long, hard road when you find out how, and I want to say this the right way, how hooked into the matrix you are. Because if you have a cell phone, and we all know the movie Matrix, Neo and everything, and we saved the day. Okay, Neo's plugged into the machine. Well, you got a cell phone? There's a plug. You have electric. There's a plug. You're online. Well, you're plugged. You have a landline or possibly a fax machine. Well, you're plugged again. You pay taxes. You're plugged. You work for somebody in a job that maybe you do or don't like. And if you like your job, hey, that's great. I love mine particularly, because I've worked for myself for years. You're plugged. If you're in any type of court system, you're plugged.
Yeah.
If you have a number, you're plugged. Social Security number. If you have a resident number, you're plugged. If you have a state ID, you're plugged. If you have a regular ID, you're plugged. Passport, plugged. When you start to do all the plugs, the matrix makes a lot of sense. And it really does, because I don't know anybody. Well, pardon me. I know 2 people in my entire 51 years that have unplugged and what they've gone through. And it took them a long years to unplug. And it's definitely not something that they could go out and just do. Man, it takes a long time.
Yeah. Especially if we're used to like punching the clock and driving the car and paying with credit cards and buying
Sure.
brand new appliances and getting that smart meter, and now you got a cell phone and your computer and all this other stuff. And you know, there's a great big huge database in Utah the size of 6 General Motors plants out there, you know, storing everybody's data.
Hey, you know, Ed, I know Felix, you're on Facebook too, and I'm out there and everything. And
I'm getting my shit pulled down by Facebook, and you know what? I'm not.
well,
Who the fuck is fucking with me on Facebook? There's a Facebook troll somewhere.
you know some of the most honest comments and likes. If they have a picture of a cabin, a stream, totally off grid, and you would have to stay there, you know, for a month, you'd get X amount of dollars or something, which is kind of funny because by the time you got there, you wouldn't want to leave.
You can just pay me to live there forever because, like, you know,
exactly.
I have a washboard and some well water, and you know, so I have clean clothes and you know, a little place to grow some food and maybe a shotgun or bow and arrows. I can get me some more food and just something simple, tree bark, whatever. Look, really, fishing pole.
Exactly. Those have
too far removed from my consciousness. Like, I mean, I lived in the city, but I'm not an apartment dweller.
Yeah, I just it's something that's man, it gets so much attention, and you just have to sit back and say to yourself, wow, everybody wants to be unplugged because they're too plugged in. They've actually gone overboard to the point where you can't move anymore. You literally, it's to the point where you have such limited movement. It's just crazy when you look into it. You really do have limited movement at this point, and people are going to start saying, "Fuck this."
With some of the big issues are, you know, how everything developed in the 20th century, you know, to point and direct everyone at consumerism. That's the matrix that's hard to break, no matter what you do. You know, I'm saying people want to break through, you know, have free energy, have this or that, just want something for free that they don't have to participate in this cycle of consumerism of waste and spending. And you know, I'd hope that someday, you know, we could get away from that. But even
Jimbo and fucking what's the other cancer? Iron Effie. Cult behavior.
I hear a voice.
I thought Iron was fucking smart.
Oh, hey, hey, Wolfie, hey, Vinny, give me a second. I got to fix something. Hold on, you guys continue for a moment. I have to fix something here. I'm going to stay here. Don't go away. I'll be right back.
Okay. So here we are. Hey, Mike, say something.
I can't because I should.
We're sillies. So anyway, I don't know. Have y'all gone shopping lately? I really haven't. I don't like to. Okay. Okay, one new message. Where's Larry?
Okay, there we go.
Did you go baby water?
There's Larry.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course, I got to bend water. What's wrong with you? Hey, actually, if Zern, if you're out there, you're good.
Did they be mean to Zern?
Yeah, and you know,
Stop being mean to Zern.
I said to you guys, Zern's a friend of mine, and you know, we all once in a while we have a couple, and we want to voice our opinion, and it's taken the wrong way. Mine has before, others have before, and you know, that's, you know, if there's personal things between you, you know, handled somewhere else. I heard Vinny and Wolfie for a second. Where'd they go?
They were like in this, like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I was hearing the voices in, I think I was hearing the voices in Mike's head. I don't know. Sometimes.
Oh, actually, yeah, they could be. Yeah, I know where they are then. Okay. That's good. They can join. I mean, Mike, you can get them the link and they can jump in and just chill if they want. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I see. I'm just going to address the chat a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Jimbo, Zern's okay. I haven't met him personally. I've spoken to him a long time personally after some of those blowups before and on regular times. And he's all right. Yeah. It's all good.
He's been in our hangouts with us and stuff.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, there's Wolf. Hey, Wolfie, what's up, brother?
Hey there, Larry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Is
You guys could have.
Oh,
There we go. As always, get some controls passed out. So the links are going to be kept super tight because we all know what happens, and this is not OBS. So.
Yeah, right on.
Which is good, just like a regular chat. I mean, we chat all the time, several times, and it's all good. Never. That's weird too, because I have rarely in streaming. I don't know how many live things. Some of them for 8 hours or whenever they shut down. I mean, they were just ridiculous. Never had a problem. I mean, had a problem with Timmy Osmond, P. Moore's maybe once, and that was before IPS got around and stuff. But you know, with that, that's about it. I mean, everybody else was pretty cool and always in and out and all different people, whole bunch of stuff.
yeah.
What, Felix? You're whispering.
I say, yeah. I think somebody else was saying something. I didn't want to talk over anyone.
No, go ahead. No. We all have a regular. Yeah, that's the thing too. We never get. You know, I've hung out with you three before, including Vinny and several. We've never had a problem with talkover. We always would. Okay, we'll stop a little bit. Let them finish, and I'll have my.
You. Hey, don't talk over me.
Yeah, Larry, I think Zern needs a link. You wanted to join.
I think, did you send it to him, Larry?
Well, I'm actually glad when somebody talks over me. It gives me a second to take a leak.
Hey, good going with your math magics, man. I like that.
Yeah, man.
Oh, cool. Yeah, thanks, Wolf. Man, I couldn't take it anymore. And you know, I'll just say, hearing some people's names that I actually know are pretty intelligent people being, you know, called out and just ha 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 and ha ha ha. And I recently said to one who is also still a friend, and just pointed something out, a very silly mistake, really silly mistake that was made. And okay, you're right on that one. All right, well, dude, before you jump on the bandwagon and try to bash somebody, just listen to the information and take it and do what you will with it. Don't come back out saying somebody's a this, that, or the other thing. Doesn't, you know, that's just silly. It's as silly as thinking that they put 8,200 fucking gallons in a plane or something. As soon as they told me the number, I'm like, you couldn't even put that. They don't even carry that much. Well, they carry that much at the airport, of course, but I mean, the gas station carries what, 15,000, maybe 20,000. They got 3, 4, maybe 6 tanks in the ground at about 5 apiece.
Oh, yeah. They come a couple times a day with the tankers to the gas station, depending on how busy your gas station is.
Right. And then they're starting they're starting to argue about, oh, well, they put the, well, and then I thought about it. I'm like, okay, let's break it down. The house I had it, I put in a 550-gallon fuel tank. I have had it filled, you know, when I could afford it. And it took them maybe 10, 15 minutes off a fuel truck.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
a smaller pipe, smaller hose. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a 2,000-gallon tank.
Holy crap. What do you want, the ISS?
And it's buried. It's buried underground. It's not that big. It's really not that big.
No, they aren't. They aren't really that big. The 500-gallon was, oh boy, I hope I get the math right because I'm going to be scrutinized if I don't. I think it was 4 foot round as far as diameter, 5 foot long. I'm pretty sure that's what it was because it fit in the back of the mason dump I had at the time, maybe 4.5 by 5.5, and that was 500 gallons. So you're talking about what, 4 of those in a plane?
Say Mason or Margaret?
Oh,
sure.
Oh yeah.
Mine's like an oval. It's taller than it is wide.
Okay.
Round.
Gotcha.
But it's laid sideways underground, so the hole's probably 6 feet deep.
Yeah, they're not as big as what you'd expect. I mean, they really aren't. Oh, hey, I just caught that. Del Croy. Wow, long time, Del.
Oh.
Wow, long time. Oh, man, Del Croy, how you been? Yeah, I haven't streamed in almost a year, too, so didn't mean to break your train there, Wolfie. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how long it was. I was pretty small when it was put in, so I don't know, maybe 15 feet long, 10 feet long. I don't know. But you can look up those tanks and the size and do your volume calculations.
Yeah, I actually had mine custom built because it was I built the house in the early 90s, and that was about the time where they started with this whole leaking with the oil thing, and I was like, oh shit. And I didn't want to take up the room in the basement because the floor plan wasn't that big. 35 by 35, 2-story with the garage attached. And that's going to take up pretty big size in the basement. I'm like, shit. All right. So I actually had them custom built. It was a place called Netcong Tank, still in business today. And I told them, I says, hey, I need a steel oil tank. I want it 550 and I want it wrapped in fiberglass. And they did it for me.
Nice.
Cool, so you don't leak.
Yeah. And if it did, it would be within the fiberglass. So I did it, a more correct way, knowing that other people were having problems and stuff. So, that's sort of happened. Oh yeah. See, Ron Alaska's out there too. I haven't seen Ron in a while.
Good to see everybody.
I see Hitch has stopped by. Hey, Hitch. And everybody goes silent.
I had to clear the air from my brain fart. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Actually, I'm going to grab something to drink. I have some fizzy water full of fluoride.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and forward it yourself. We'll wait. Some of it's too funny. And yeah, Wolfie, man, kudos. I'll say it. We're live. I'll say it on air, man. Kudos because you did. Your video was good. I liked it.
Well, thanks. It's a little slow, but
No, it was. Hey, look, I haven't seen the as well. Jibby always busts my balls, and he calls it the crayon board, crayon time with Larry, and which is okay. I love the guy, man. We
have different colors though, you know.
Well, you know what? I went to use the red and green, and they're freaking dried out. So I okay, that'll be on the to get list for next time because I ran out of colors. I was trying to do it with the dollar sign in green, and it didn't work. I mean, it made this sound like your fingernails across the board. I'm like, can't do that.
No, you can use those water washable Crayola magic markers, water based. Too.
I don't have any, and my daughter might have. You know, my youngest, she might have them, and she hid them somewhere because she don't want me using them or something. I can't find them.
Just in case you just start a hangout and start using your magic markers.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, Dad, no, these. I'm sorry, these are mine. You cannot have them.
Dad, please don't use these for temporary tattoos. They're not Sharpies.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's too fun. I would have done that too, probably. So yeah, it's a good thing she hit him. It probably is a good thing she took him.
That's the nice thing about those, or you just drop the little munchkin in the tub and wash the crayon off.
Oh boy, I remember growing up. We had those, and they were kind of like the grease pencil type of thing. Growing up, I remember having those all over the bathroom tiles and stuff. And I remember seeing pictures my mom had taken when she we were in the bathtub or something and really young, like I don't know, 2 and 3 or 2. Well, we were 2 and 4 would have been just writing on the walls and shit.
They had cameras back then. Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, the guy came in, was kind of a stagecoach horse and buggy, and he pulled up and he says, "Hey, you want to wait picture your kid there?" I think it was called a tin. It was actually a tin type. I'm sorry. I'm mistaken. It was a tin type.
Don't catch the ceiling on fire, mister.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's standing real still.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't move because of the freaking flash burn you're going to get.
No, it's hard to you remember those flash cubes? They'd go off and you'd blink and or either that everybody had red eyes.
And you could hear the high pitched squeal in your ears.
Oh, oh my God. Yeah, that was the Kodak 35 Instamatic. Remember those?
Yeah, and then you keep on blinking your eyes and you could still see the flash bulb in your eye.
Oh. Yeah, it's kind of
gunpowder, man. Boom.
It's funny. It's kind of like, being like a flat earther or a truther. And hey, go out and look at the sun. You go out and you look right at the sun. It's like, oh, that was stupid. Now you're walking in the walls for the next 2 minutes. It's like, why did I do that?
For fun. Because he told me to try it. If you stare at it long enough, you'll see the sunspots.
That's what we did before the internet. We just stare at the sun.
Yeah. These screens aren't really good for our eyes.
Hey, Felix, I'm not connected with him except my old telephone, the one you hang on the wall and you roll it around and say, "Operator, connect me to."
Yeah, I have one in the kitchen.
Yeah, you able to get Zerna a link to join in? Hey, yes, I see that out there. And by the way, Hitch, thank you, I appreciate that, and sorry for yours as well, and for those that have lost parents, moms and dads and grandparents, and man, there's a list, and obviously siblings or children or anything else. It's a hard thing to go through. So, Hitch, I appreciate that. Thank you.
He just said he's going to peace out.
Oh, crap. Hopefully he didn't. Where do you want me to tell him to check on? Can you get him on Hangouts?
I don't have him directly, but he did.
That's all right. Just a matter of a couple of steps.
Yeah. Oh, I think. Wait a minute.
Or you got them on Gmail, maybe.
I think I got him on Hangouts, but he'd have to accept my invitation.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, Wolf, would you please?
Let me see here. Oh, it's slam free.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, Wolfie.
Okay, I just sent him a message, so you'll get it. Just a few minutes.
Hmm?
That's pretty good. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice to be back here at the home.
The old home. Oh.
Yeah. Well, look, we have another 34 minutes until medication time, so we're good.
Yeah. It's almost 30.
Yeah, whose turn is it this time, Felix? Is it you or me? I keep forgetting.
I don't know.
Who pushes the cart around? That Or wait a minute. Wait a minute. Dave's there. Dave, get Dave to do it. Come on, Dave. You got to jump in here, help out.
He's in the kitchen on that old horn thing, talking to somebody.
Uh-oh. It could be conspiring with the enemy.
Yeah, could be. I'll never know.
Yeah, Felix, you don't have any freaking enemies. Give me a break.
Lots of them.
Oh, you do not. You're one of the nicest people I know.
Oh.
Hey, look, we all get a little uppity at times, and that's okay.
Wear spiky heels and carry a heavy stick. Guess that's how it goes. Something like that. That I've been having trouble on my freaking Facebook of all places.
Yeah. I don't know about the heavy stick and that sort of thing. I know it from a porn star situation, that side of it. So it has a totally different meaning.
Right.
How about some of the new commercials coming out from? You can see Jeff Goldblum actually does one on apartments. Looking for an apartment, and you can see the apartments that are for rent and stuff like that. And it's actually him standing over, a flat plane with a bunch of clouds, and he's actually has people like falling down in like their souls from heaven falling back to earth. It's freaking funny. So many of them make flat Earth reference. It's not even funny anymore.
Dave Hinkle, he said the audio's low, and I said for everyone, Dave. I don't know.
Oh,
not normal.
Nominal.
Nominal.
Phenomenal. Phenomena. Do.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, yep. Okay, Hitch. Catch you later. Take off and. Mr. Dave Hinkle.
Hinkle's in the house. Woo woo.
Yeah, if Dave wants to join, that's.
Dave, what are you doing?
Dave might be working. He works a lot. He's on the road quite a bit.
Yeah. Dave?
And of course, we got delay. There's a delay, which we all know from the early days. I remember trying to figure out the delay. It's like, hey, I asked that question like a half minute ago.
Well, how many are my questions?
Wait for it.
Let me finish.
Oh, good. He said the audio is okay now.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually walked away. So maybe when I was, talking, I walked away, and that was it.
You should present Mike. He's got some good memes.
Mike's got really good memes.
No, that's okay.
Oh, if you're gonna show them, you may as well show them off.
No, I'm just.
Actually, Mike's. Yeah, all you guys got controls. You can go ahead.
No, I'm fine.
He's being
He's
shy.
shy.
Oh,
They seem comfy.
Okay, Mr. Hinkle is driving, so he's out working, doing his thing. Be safe out there, Dave.
well, Dave, if you want to join, I sent it to you there. Anyway,
Yeah, if Dave wants to join and do the old, if he's doing the Uber thing and asking about stuff or whatever, and mute when he wants to, it was always fun. It was always good. I see Zern back out there. Yeah. Hey Scott, you got a link somewhere.
Sorry, Mike. I just have to.
Actually, keep Mike presented because we all know we're on avatars. We're not doing. I was doing live cam before it ruins the bandwidth and slows down. So just keep presenting Mike because he's got some. They're funny as hell, and he's not saying anything, so we can see him. You guys can't, and they're actually pretty good.
Everybody could see him now, I think.
Thank you guys, man.
Hey, Carl's out there too. Good to see Carl.
Hi, Carl.
Always good to watch both at the same time if you can. On this I can, on the other one I can't. The other one I just have to do either live stream or watch chat. I can't do both.
I've learned how to multitask actually, so this isn't too bad.
Yeah. Well, the problem is the other computer is so slow. It's the one I had from the other play. It's a desktop. It's the one that Jibby yelled at me, and he's like, "Larry, where are the gerbils? Tell them to go quicker to get some more power."
Oh, did you get the squeaky fan thing?
No, but it was just him making, just him busting my chops. You know how
Squeaky fans. They go, "Reep, reep, 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 reep." It sounds like
Mush, gerbils, mush.
mush. Computer's overheating. Mush, little gerbils.
That looks freaky.
It's like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's been, and the one thing that's nice is we did many a hangout, and you don't have to actually call the name of the person out. You can actually make a reference, and anybody that's been around knows. And if not, they'll figure it out. They're pretty intelligent. Everybody's intelligent. I mean, otherwise nobody would be here or at different hangouts or anything that we go to. They get it. Every now and then you need a little shake up and say, "Hey, you ever see the way that guy gestures with his hands? Always trying to convince or do this or have, okay, hey, look at the pretty keyboard or look at the pretty this or look at the pretty that." And then starts going off in a tangent on some other whacked out thing and everybody starts to follow. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what you've been doing your whole life, isn't it?
using your hands. I found a purpose. You know what they say, idle hands are the devil's playground.
Yeah, it's actually a little different because you start following those hands and you start realizing you're actually focused on the hands to the point when they're talking, they're actually trying to, they're trying to say something like, hey, we all come together with a clap and hey, we all interlock, and they interlock their hands and it's thumbs up and it's the Illuminati. After a while, you're like, dude, if you're not going to cam up with your face, get the fuck off.
Right, sir?
Oh, boy. Oh crap! I'm not even gonna look at chat because I don't want to know. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I'll check it out later.
You know, but as East Coast people, we do gesticulate with our hands quite often.
Well, I find I do sometimes, but you know, it's usually when I'm drawing on a board or you know trying to draw a quick drawing or something like that.
I think it's kind of clever how you can like hold the cigar in your mouth and talk. That's good.
Oh yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
What is that? Oral fixation or some fucking thing? Who the fuck knows?
Whatever that is, yeah.
Yeah, which was made up by the LBGY PDQ XY PDW kick me in the ass crew. I don't even know what that fuck that means.
I think it was somebody who talked to Freud, then talked to Edward Bernays, and then they had like the smoking campaigns and the anti-smoking campaign.
MOON, that spells merman. You got to be a Stephen King fan to get that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man! Hey, you know what's? Hey, you know, mention, and it wasn't Stephen King. It was Stanley Kubrick. I was in a chat the other day watching a movie that he directed, and I had no idea. And it was a very famous. It wasn't 2001 or anything or Shining. So no, it wasn't the very. It was something very famous, and I'm like, no shit. I didn't even realize how many films he actually directed.
Oh yeah, a whole big long list.
Yeah, because I'm going back and kind of rewatching the oldies. Like I watched The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which I can name people and put them in their place.
You're gonna have to make some memes, Larry. Make some memes.
Oh no, no, I can't. Hey, I'm still a Clint Eastwood fan. I mean, he's probably part of it and everything. And hey, his own personal time, I enjoyed the work he did as an actor because the westerns were good. The storyline was good. It wasn't too far out of line with most of them. It was pretty good stuff. Even in his older stuff, like Gran Torino, was a good story.
Some of the ballistics.
Oh, that was a great story.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Felix. What was that one?
Some of their ballistics were a little unbelievable, but still, I mean, they were good movies.
Oh yeah. You got to realize too, he took over for John Wayne because John Wayne was the one. Or actually, Lee Von Cleef was a very good, famous Western actor as well. And Eastwood is about the same time and everything. Of course, everybody thinks Eastwood is actually JFK or some fucking thing. It's like, dude.
No, he's that little guy.
Oh, Tattoo from Fantasy Island? Yeah, that's probably him. Yeah, the plane. Make the bullshot. Make the bullseye. Make the bully. Holy crap.
The globe, the flat, and the ugly. Zern said in the chat.
Wait, where did you get that? Oh, you got it from Zern in chat. That's fucking disturbing. Hey, Zern, get your ass on, man. Come on, get on here.
Steve McQueen's got nothing on me.
Yeah, I like McQueen's movies too. Yeah, I like, and they were all part of that, and I understand that. That was their personal thing. I enjoy the storyline, the way they acted, the way it came out.
He was really, really good in The Blob.
Yeah, really short too. You can tell they're not the same. Clint Eastwood had a movie that year too, so how the fuck could they be the same?
Yeah, could they be related?
I don't know.
And
That's what happens. That's what happens when the baby Jesus does your maths.
Yeah, it's almost like Oprah handing out babies. Oh, you have a baby, you have a baby, you have a baby. We all have babies here.
Everyone look under your chair. There's a baby.
We all have a baby. We all have a baby. Let's go to the baby. Oh man.
Yeah. So if we have extra strength crazy pills, take one every hour to prevent choking really stupid people. Take two.
Mike has the best freaking. He's got the best screech here. So yeah, just definitely keep him up there. He's got the best stuff. Anybody who's new, don't be afraid to chat or anything. You'll be safe out there. There's plenty of wrenches and no banning. Let people have some say. I mean, some have old rivals back and forth, and try not to get in the middle of the two of them. Just let them, talk it out a little bit. I can't read the last one because all the avatars are in the way. Dialed to a higher dime
Dimension.
Oh, higher dimension.
Yes. Because you're kind of like off somewhere because you're in a higher dimension.
Gotcha.
It does sound feasible. Hi, dog.
Yeah, going out and chatting with people, day to day, and doing day to day stuff. It's been different. Well, it's been different for me all the time because I personally don't like people.
Yeah.
So if I take a liking to you, that's pretty good. And even talking day to day with people, sometimes you just look at them like, man, I know there's fluoride in it, but how do you actually brush your teeth? I mean, is it? Do you watch a video? Did you write your name in your shirt? Do you know your way home? Can you get home okay? Do you need GPS to get back to your home?
Do you move the toothbrush or do you move your head?
Yeah.
Wait, do you move the teacup or do you move the tea bag?
Oh, that's even worse. Okay. And as you know, I never edit anything, so everything will be published and up at some point. For those just joining, to go back and watch a serious part of this discussion, go back to the beginning.
When was that?
Yeah. I actually, it's got to be. I'll say it again. It's got to be done and have some fun because that's the way it's got to. It's just you got to have some fun. You can't be too serious. People are just so serious and doing really silly things and arguing with people they shouldn't be arguing with because you're actually saying the same thing. It's just so insane. Take a few minutes and sit back and have a little fun. That's the way it should be. That's my take on it.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat here.
Exactly. And that's what unfortunately some people along the line they forget and are trying to prove something where when somebody comes along and taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, yeah, you forgot to carry the 7 over here or something, and it's really simple and you're like, oh shit. And you've been, preaching this stuff for, it could be a little bit or something, or it could be a long bit. And it's like, oh, I never really thought of it that way. And all those things, Wolfie, all those things I found, if I found them, anybody can find them. I mean, I could barely run a computer.
Yeah. You just got to dig through the piles of shit to get to that one kernel of truth.
Yeah, and the interesting part of it was it had the maximum takeoff weight in kilograms and the landing weight in metric tons.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you're, wow, it takes off so big, and wow, it lands so small. No, it's in different increments. You got to grab the calculators and sit there and calc it all out. And then when I realized you had to dump 170 tons over a 8,500 mile trip, I was like, Is that even possible?
Yeah.
You know what? That must be the Richard Simmons flight. That is the best one for all the fat people. So please, by all means, take that flight because your asses are fat. You need to lose some fucking weight and stay out of McDonald's.
Well, if they all take a 10-pound shit and they drop it out of the plane, then it works out.
Well, no, because actually, Wolfie, no, because now that we've figured out that the fuel problem as far as what it would actually be loaded with as far as gallons, they could use all the rest of the room for the fat people.
Yeah.
And by the way, 555 people at an average weight of 200 pounds comes out to 55 tons. I've already done that math also.
Is that tons or tunnies? Because
That's
two different things.
you ass. That's
well, you got to make sure they don't sneak that and then ES on there because that'll fuck your shit up.
I know. That's why I rounded the numbers up as much as I could,
Right.
and that's why I did it that particular way because I knew there'd be some problems. So I'm like, all right, you know what? We'll double it or I'll add it up and everything because I knew common sense tells me, and knowing common sense and basic mathematics and also how to build shit. It's like,
right. Well, common sense ain't so common anymore, man.
Yeah,
they're doing away with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Common Core, which Common Core is, hey, look over here and find this ginormous number because we want to charge you all this money, which the money means absolutely fucking nothing. So we can take it and convert it to something else to get other people to do shit for us. That means nothing. So they get nothing in return, only to pay nothing back because it doesn't mean a goddamn thing. And let's go back and revisit this. Like, what kind of a circle jerk is? Oh my god! It's so
the meaning of modern life.
It's fucking diabolical, man.
It is
absolutely, and coming at it from way back in the side that I did. I mean, I saw all that, so that was like easy for me. The flat Earth was the hard one, which most people find that the easy one. I'm like, oh, get the fuck what?
Well, that's the difference between believers and people that do their own fucking homework.
Yeah, believers. They go out there and
you got to ask yourself, what do you believe and what do you know? You got to know the difference between that.
Exactly, which is why I referenced Bassano earlier because he said, "Yeah, it's not what you believe; it's what you can prove."
Yeah,
he was dead spot on because he said that and it shut me right down, and I was like, "Oh, I have no comeback." Touche.
Hey, Zern's having a problem with the link, I think, Larry.
Oh crap! I haven't been reading.
I sent one to your Hangout, Zern, slam free poetry. Go into Hangouts and accept my invite, and you'll see it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, thanks, Jimbo, for getting somebody's attention. I wasn't watching, my fault. Yeah, it's in the Google Hangout, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I had to do the old let the dog in, let the dog out, let the dog in, let the dog out.
How does the Google Hangout work? Because I've never done it on a cell phone. Is that different on a cell phone than it is on a laptop or computer?
If you have
if you got a computer, you got more options, but it works about the same.
Okay, all right. Well, give him a second. He might have looked on the channel he's on, which is it was sent to the Slam Bam. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
The one with all the twos in it? Hey, that's a cool picture.
Off to the North Pole.
What is at the end of the road?
No, it's not. That's J.J. Walker's hair because he's old.
I know mine. Anamite.
I noticed too. You can see the crepuscular rays going opposite where they're focusing up. So those hologram things are getting pretty good.
Look at the edge of it, though. It's that thing in the sky, that rift thing.
Well, that's the end. You know, like when you get to the end of the internet when you're surfing, it's like, no, that's it. That's the end. You fall off.
Remember that commercial? I think it was on TV.
Yeah.
He's like on his computer and goes, "You have reached the end of the internet."
Yeah, I remember that the guy was.
I don't even remember what it was for.
No, I just remember it was the end of it, and the wife is there, like rolling her eyes, and he's like, "Honey, I reached the end," and she looks like, "What?" Well, the end of the internet. It's done. I reached the end. Yeah, I see FE Disciple out there. Cool. Yeah, Jimbo. That's yeah. JJ Walker. JJ Walker. Lives matter. The rubber chickens matter more. Well, we've succeeded in getting more thumbs down than up, so we're doing good. This is typical.
At first, it was all thumbs up. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, well that's yeah, come on, you know how that goes.
Mm.
You know they okay. Oh, Larry's streaming. Wow, this must be a first. No, bitch, I've been around for a long time.
Smash that like button, you buttheads.
Larry's OG.
Yeah, I want to put a new button in there that says I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, that would probably be all of them combined.
Yeah, man, don't give no fucks.
That would be funny. You imagine?
How come Facebook doesn't have a thumbs down? As the thumbs up got. What is that thing? They say how you can rate a thing. Okay, I've got thumbs up. It's like a relationship. At first it's thumbs up, then it's a heart, then it's laughter, then it's like wow, and it's crying, and then it's angry.
Actually, what they should
it all counts as an interaction.
Well, actually, the one crying, you should have actually like a 2-finger symbol, you know, for the chicks.
You inspired someone to push a button. That's all that matters.
Oh shit! Hey, I didn't earn the name PIMP for nothing. Come on.
Right on.
It's nice to see so many people stopping by, and you know, some friends that haven't seen, and some we actually haven't seen in a while. Which nice to see them around again too, because you know.
You're like Larry's on. Wow. Take it, man.
Oh yeah. So we'll run for a little bit more, and then you know, just not make it a long one. Make it something like a back on type of thing. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. Oh wait! Oh, Jimbo sees me hold up the banner. I don't. Oh, the earth is flat. Yeah.
Flat.
You know, it's so hard to tell with those things. I mean, the CGI is getting so good.
Yeah, you can make anything.
Yeah. I'm guessing that they were actually, you know, protesting for shorter hours between meal and a longer spaghetti or something.
Flat Earth forcing NASA to make better videos.
Actually, Zern just sent me a link to Hangouts. I'm already on Hangouts. Or send it through here. Holy crap, that's a process. I could do it though. You guys carry on. Just give me a moment. I'll be right back.
Well, okay.
Yep.
So once you got a message from him, you can message him back.
Look in your invite, sir.
Skydiving.
That's all the specs right there.
Yeah.
Oh, those are fucking made up numbers.
Yeah, them are fake numbers, dude.
Numbers don't represent anything. They're just
Yeah.
fucking numbers, man.
Yeah.
Right up until you hit the ground.
Yeah.
I don't need to look at the altimeters, it's numbers. Yeah.
I don't have to look at the speedometer. I just put the pedal to the metal.
That's the devil's math.
Hey, whatever you do, don't use a clock. That thing lies all the fucking
Mine's broken. At least it's right twice a day.
time. I done broke. Well, I gotta get a new face for it. Remind me. I'm gonna go to the big city tomorrow. I'll probably forget to get everything that I want to get there. And that reminds me.
Ding, ding.
Carry on.
Must have been a mud flood. Yep, running out of pictures.
Ah, that was a good one. It's 420 somewhere. Whew.
Guaranteed. Let's do it. Zern can't get on. All right, Larry disappeared.
You should be able to click on his icon in chat and send him a message that way.
Okay, I'm still here.
Aha!
Well, I'm glad Larry has not left the building.
Oh, that's a cool one, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna peace out. I did send him. I think I sent it because I wasn't. I did it. I sent it backwards. I sent it back to myself on my flip phone and then sent it to him. We'll see if that works. I reversed engineered the situation.
reverse.
I said, "Oh my goodness, Larry wants me to join a hangout." Wow, wait a minute, that's me. What?
Yeah, get in here, Zern. I want to hear that. I made a robot song. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah, give him a second.
The link's like a half mile long.
Yeah.
You can't miss it.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I could do it a different way too. Here, I'll do something else.
I'll just put it in the chat and then just retract it, you know.
Oh yeah, okay.
Can't find that one.
You know what's funny? I could actually type out my freaking email address without even looking at the freaking keys.
Dang. That's skills.
333-227-777-65333. Are you still using one of them old phones to type?
Hey, hey,
Yep.
that's not funny. That's not funny.
That's not funny. That's fucking hilarious.
No, because if you're driving or something, you shouldn't be texting. I'll be bouncing around and I'll still be like tapping, and they're like, "Dad, what are you doing?" I'm sending a text. How can you send a text? I said, "Easy. I'm sending a text." And I'll stop and I'll start again, and I'll send or something. I said, "How can you do that?" I said, "You know why? Because I don't use GPS either. You couldn't find your way home."
Right on.
Wait a minute. For fuck's sake. Why did my phone say it was 4 o'clock in the morning 1 minute, now it says it's 11? I don't get it.
It's like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Welcome to the time warp.
Yeah. See, I have one of those things I have to tap on too. I'm trying to get a hold of my daughter.
I'll get him on here. If I got to drag, hey Zern, don't make me try to fuck down here and pull you on this panel, because I will do that.
Oh, I have 0 service days left. That's why. I still have 92 minutes left. I just don't talk on the phone.
Well, you'll be just in time for the entire place to blow up. 92 minutes and counting.
I have to go get another card tomorrow. I got enough to do. I'm gonna sleep all day. Fuck it.
Oh crap! I'm just looking back at text. Jimbo, what the hell you want about? Then we figure out what to find him. Not always Evan. Smoke the signals faster. Drive your horse faster. Sexting and driving is worse. I gotta stop. On the service every day. Well, now, hey, listen. Whether she's doing that to me or not, I could still go. What are you doing? Nothing.
Just don't ever get a blowjob while you're driving. I've seen that movie.
No, and you know something? Don't ever give a blowjob while somebody's driving. You could get dick lash, and it's very serious.
Oh my God, Felix.
Gonna make Larry swallow his cigar.
Oh shit, that was funny. That's hysterical.
Yeah, you might.
There is a PSA on it, and I could send it to you, Larry. I could send it to you, that PSA.
Nope.
You might see something you ain't never seen before.
Nope.
You might rip your ass off.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
You'd be gluing your ass back on because you left it off.
Hey, I'm gonna pull a Nancy Reagan. Just say no.
Just say no.
Just say no to pharmaceutical drugs.
Oh man, yeah. Man, Mike has got some hell of a backgrounds too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an awesome bonsai right there.
Absolutely. So it's going to get quiet before it gets hopefully loud. I sent him my email address to send. Zern, if you're out there, I sent the email address so you can send me an email and I'll send it right through the email. Since he's like me and can't work a computer.
Well, shit.
Meanwhile, 20 years goes by, we're still on the same Hangout because they've extended it. You know, YouTube lets it go for 20 years, and we're sitting here like, wow, anybody seen Zern yet?
Excuse me, I've misplaced my power cord.
Yeah, let me plug back in. There's a lot of people out there that understand and get it, and there's a lot of new, art that people draw in different things. There was one done brilliant on on Facebook where they actually did it was people today, and man, with the selfies with all the eyeballs looking, and they see you don't actually see anything. It's a naked avatar, and just man, it was really, 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 really good. And I'm not an art guy whatsoever. That was really good. It was a friend of mine posted it, actually. Really good stuff. I go look back and see if we missed anybody.
You build stuff, Larry. I consider that art.
Yeah, yes. This was something new, something which you wouldn't think would be new. It's just it could have been from old school and it just reprinted because I didn't look really into it that much, except to look and say, wow, got some good points there.
Nice books they got there.
Holy crap, Zern, you got like banned like 14 fucking times. I'm just going back and looking.
Those books are huge. Must have been giants that wrote them ones. Or that dude's a fairy.
And you got them all bookmarked too.
Oh, I saw Brian Verville out there too. I haven't talked to Brian in a while. Saw him out there. Might have been a while ago too.
The nice thing about books that big, you don't need to wear your reading glasses.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's nothing important. That's a book you get when you have children and you get a how to put it together when you say no assembly requires at Christmas. That's what that book is.
It's the ancient guide to putting all of those things together.
Yeah, exactly. This one's probably how to build a bicycle.
Manuel says.
There's a secret compartment in there with all the screws.
That's the book of Manuel. It's the holy book of Manuel.
Oh, really?
Manuel.
I got it. Actually, turn to the G section. That'll be the grass section.
Open your holy Manuel, chapter 666. That's where we find all the missing socks and screws. No. No.
I hear someone calling me.
Uh-huh.
That's hey Wolfman. Every time you join, we used to all do that. Remember?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was funny. Hey, actually, Felix. Speaking of books, remember the time a couple of years ago I was with somebody at the time, and it's still up on one of the one of my hangouts or whatever. It's a while ago. It's several years ago, and we actually took out 5 Bibles and opened it up to the Lord's Prayer, and all 5 said something different.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Heard that recently somewhere, and I was like, yeah, I did that a long time ago. Like, yeah.
And then you got people making Bible Mandela effect videos.
Well, that's where it kind of came from. That was way back in the Mandela thing, and I grabbed one, and I had a different one. I had a couple because my mom had passed in 13, and this was like 16, 15, 16, right? Yeah, it was 15, 16. Grabbed the one I had, which is something different, and the girl I was with, who has moved on now and doing very well, we're still friends. She had the King James, which was also is still a big controversy. And I had the New World, and then there was Jehovah's Witness. I think that covers 4, and there was another one.
One of them TZ hotels you stop at sometimes.
Felix, that's not the point. Moving on. And we actually put, and yeah, because there was a few people there. And Felix was definitely one, because Felix, we were together like constantly, and a lot of the time back then. And I know you would remember that. And somebody else recently said, "Oh yeah, I did this," and I'm like, got a video of it?
It's like over 10,000 versions.
Well, yeah. My point is, if you have a video about it, go ahead and show it, because we actually pulled them up and showed all the text. Like, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. It's unfortunately some of the people that play the know-it-all and get the accolades for a know-it-all that, and they're smart people. Don't get me wrong, very smart people. To do that though, nah. Moving on.
In reference to that big, huge book, Jim wants to know, where's the play giant book?
Look up Manuel.
It's in the Manuel.
It's in the Manuel.
I'm sure he has something to say about it.
If his name is Manuel, he must be well.
Hey,
here's Saint Manuel.
Well, here's something that nobody thinks about. Suppose the creator's name really is Manuel.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Might be a little pissed. Like, now, I'll let you guys stew a little longer now. Okay. Yeah. Fuck you guys. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Ice cream and pie.
Oh, I feel so glad that I got my jokes back out of ICU. Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy knows I love him. He's around somewhere.
Where is he right now, though?
Yeah, Jimmy's cool. He's fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. Jimmy's he's always been the constant for almost every channel, and I could say this on a personal level, knowing him, because he'll bring you back down and say, okay, and not on moonshine, just he's just totally just drinking coffee. All right, here we go, and he'll just bring you back. He's an intelligent guy. He's got a lot in his mind, and sometimes it gets the better of him, which it does to all of us. And I still love the guy. What can I tell you?
I like this one. That moment when NASA announces another discovery.
Yeah. There's one for Jimmy.
Aww.
Gotta send that to Judy.
Wow. Hey Zern, you have to specify because I get so many chicks emailing me, and if you just have my name in there, like, hey, it's me, email me. Like, no.
Oh, that's a cool one. I
know
like it.
that.
Kitty. Oh.
Kitty, kitty.
Meow.
All right, Zern might have shut down for tonight, and that's cool. Because I didn't get any text back, and I didn't get any email from him.
Ah.
Well, no, I got an email with it doesn't say like just reference, hey, it's Zern, or hey, it's me and me, Scott Zern. Hey, what?
Oh my god, it's Ava. What do you want? Give me your face.
I was going to go into the buildings too, and I figured, you know what, I'll do that some other time. I've already done it before. I'll just go back into it.
Buildings?
Yeah, because as the buildings, as you build them out of the ground, they would actually have to widen at the top because of the gravitational force pulling down based on simple engineering, which never happens. Yeah, it would look like the Cosby Show or whatever. What was that? Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids.
Yeah.
Remember the buildings? You see them all wider at the top, and they'd be all cartoonish and shit.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, we'd have wonky buildings everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And it's real simple. They'd all be bigger at the top. A stadium, same thing. Stadium would, based on that, even though you would create the topography where you're working on the land as flat. Well, simple engineering wouldn't work because it's downward pressure that you're dealing with, and the downward pressure, meaning gravity, if it existed, it would be wider at the top, and it doesn't exist.
The Pontiac Silverdome was kind of wider at the top, and they tried to blow it up, then try to blow it up. I think they tried like 3 or 4 times. There was all kinds of memes and jokes going on around about it because they're like, yeah, you can take down a couple of towers, but you can't blow up a football stadium.
Well, hey, definitely, I remember when it happened too. It's a shame because it's one of those things in there. I see Anders Ace is out there too, Anders, and that would change the entire fuel pulling down the towers thing too, because 82,000 gallons of no, more like 1,000. Okay, how do you figure that one out? Because the water tanks on top of that, which would blow for the fire system, were way more than the fuel that came out of those planes.
But we know it got dustified anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, kerosene don't get that hot. I don't care. Fucking
no. I've actually
bring down the elevator shaft. See.
Oh, see that we have a liker and subscriber. There you go.
Ow. Abby started.
He's out of there.
She wants to go out again.
Well, it is good to do live again because it's been some time.
I'm sorry, guys. This is turning into a game of rope and frisbee. I don't know why she does this at night.
Don't worry about it.
prefer chains.
Yeah. Yeah. We okay. Ending the broadcast now. No, I'm kidding.
What do you want?
I prefer chains to ropes.
Yeah, I know. Oh, wait a second. You meant like chains like handcuffs? No, we're talking about chains that held the Titanic to the dock.
Chains and frisbees.
Yeah, each chain link weighs about 275 pounds.
Yeah, seen the chains on those aircraft carriers, man. Holy shit.
Well, they're even stronger would be the steel cables they use.
I don't know, man. Them fucking chains are, I forget how many tons a piece. And the anchor's like 60 fucking tons or some crazy shit.
Oh, you mean for the anchoring chain? Okay, different. Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
When you said the carrier, I thought you meant the ones that zip the planes off.
Yeah, aircraft carriers. I took
Yeah,
a tour of one of the smaller ones.
yeah. I mean,
Enterprise.
yeah. Compared to the chain holding the ship, I mean, the other ones, the steel cables are like rubber bands going pew pew
Yeah,
pew.
yeah, they got some flex to them, right? A little bit of give, a little bit of rubber band action, tension. Those things are amazing.
Oh hell yeah!
Fucking huge. All that steel on a big old ship like that. That'll blow your mind.
Gigantic stuff.
Then they fill it full of people and airplanes and fuel.
You're going right back to that. You're going right. I knew you were going.
Well, yeah, you want to get your head around some big numbers. Look at those fucking huge ass boats and all that shit they load on them.
And that's
How do they make it across the high seas, huh? Without fucking sinking.
well, yeah. There's
That's amazing. And how much diesel they burn getting there. You know, fuck, man.
Oh no, some of them freighters have like 2 locomotive engines on them.
They're as big as a house, for fuck's sake. There's, Jesus, man. You could walk
Tanks are
inside
as
the
big as a
cylinders.
house.
You could walk inside the cylinders, man.
No.
They're fuck.
yeah, which is kind of which. That's yeah, and getting back to, and we'll wrap it up in a few here, and I'll go do our things because I don't want to hold any of the 2 people watching. That's a thing. Going back to it, use a little common sense. If somebody has a good idea or whatever about the massive amounts or something, break it down to the simplest common thing. Very simple to do. Because some of these things, if they take them and run, probably not a good idea. Just break it down and do your own work on it.
Well, it goes back to what you believe and what you know.
And what you can prove.
Yeah, and what you can learn. When you're learning, you're always on that edge of what you know and what you believe. So you got to be careful what dots you're trying to connect, because sometimes they just don't fucking connect, no matter how hard you believe.
And with that, everybody, I'll let you guys get on with your evening. I want to thank everybody for joining. I mean, Mike, Wolfie, Felix, everybody out in chat. See you real soon because I'm going to be back.
All right.
Peace.
Peace out.
Later.